So we're live.
We're live.
It's not 7, but we're here.
It's 9. We're here.
But Lakeside, you say all the way live.
All the way live on Easter.
All the way live.
Honestly, I have no idea. I was just trying to get to the handshake line and shake hands and, be grateful that my team was in that position. That's all you can do is, hold your head high, be proud of what you did, and, all the credit in the world to LSU. They were tremendous. They deserve it. They had a tremendous season. Kim Mulkey coached them so well. She's one of the best basketball coaches of all time, and it shows. And she only said really kind things to me in the handshake line, so I'm very grateful for that too. But honestly, I have no idea, and I was just trying to, spend the last few moments on the court with, especially the 5 people that I've started 93 games with, and relishing every second of that.
All right, that's the queen of basketball.
This a race issue? Angel Reese is receiving a lot of backlash for doing the same celebration that Caitlin Clark did in a previous game. People are upset because Angel Reese, who is black, is getting backlash for the celebration that she did compared to when Caitlin Clark did the celebration, who is white, and didn't get any backlash. 2 things. 1, it wasn't the same celebration. Clark did the celebration toward her team, and the celebration was short-lived, as you can see. Angel Reese's celebration, however, was very excessive and was directed only to Caitlin Clark. She was in her face for crying out loud. Keep in mind, Caitlin Clark didn't say one word or one gesture toward LSU during the whole game. 2, Caitlin Clark's celebration was to a completely different team, but somehow, someway, LSU took that personally. Okay. And the fact that Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp are saying that this is a race issue because Caitlin Clark is white and Angel Reese is black is complete blasphemy. I don't see this incident as being color oriented. However, many things in today's world are, but I see this for what it is. Disrespect. And disrespect has no color. You can be black or white, rich or poor, pretty or ugly, skinny or fat, and still be disrespectful. And that's what I thought Angel Reese was in the final minutes of the championship game. Let me know your thoughts.
I would smack the afro off that dude if I could. He lost his damn mind. He got mixed parents, and he's leaning towards the Caucasian one. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't accept I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't accept the apology because of you said what you said.
Biden.
Yeah.
The
wife.
lady.
Yeah.
You said what you said, and you meant what you said.
I said what I said, and you can't go back on certain things that you say. I mean, you felt like they should have came because of sportsmanship, right? They can have that spot. Like, we'll go to the Obamas. We'll see, I'm gonna see Michelle. I'm gonna see Barack.
Hold on. So did you guys speak to the First Lady?
No, apparently she was supposed to come to our locker room before the game, but we said no.
Before the game?
Yeah, she was supposed to come to our locker room and go to Iowa's locker room. I don't know if she talked to them. I don't know if she did. But we said we didn't want to. We didn't want her coming to the locker room. I think Joe Biden had put somebody else to win the national championship. He didn't even put us on his bracket to get out of Baton Rouge. So I was like, bet.
Oh, you weren't even on the bracket.
We weren't even out of. No, we didn't even get out of Baton Rouge. I think that he said we were going to lose to Michigan or something.
She is hardcore and unapologetic.
These young people is nothing to mess with.
I love it.
She still needs to put address President Obama as President Obama and Michelle as the First Lady.
Yeah.
Instead of calling them by the first names, show some respect for those first names.
That's point taken.
You showed up as yourself. You didn't go out there and put some political statement out there.
Yeah, no.
You said we're not coming. Period.
Yeah. Period.
Right. How calculated was that? Did you have people sitting around and like, hey, how should we respond?
No, that was
this?
from the heart. That was from the mind. It was that. That was what it was in the moment. I mean, as soon as that happened, we hit the group chat like, what we doing? Y'all trying to go? Like what? Because if y'all don't, we not going. And my coach, she's telling us, just be patient. She got this, and that's why she came out with that statement this morning. We made a lot of phone calls, and that's why she wants to come out and apologize. But at the same time,
The damage is
I
done.
don't accept I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't accept the apology because of you said
Jill-
what you
Jill
said.
Biden.
Yeah.
First lady.
The wife,
First lady.
yeah.
You said
First
what you
lady.
said and you meant what
I
you
said what I said, and like you can't go back on certain things that you say. I mean, you felt like they should have came because of sportsmanship, right? They can have that spot. Like we'll go to the Obamas. We'll see, I'm gonna see Michelle. I'm gonna see Barack.
Hold on. So did you guys speak to the first lady
No, apparently she was supposed to come to our locker room before the game, but we said no.
before the game?
Yeah, they were all. She was supposed to come to our locker room and go to Iowa's locker room. I don't know if she talked to them. I don't know if she did, but we said we didn't want to. We didn't want her coming
Why?
to the locker room. I think Joe Biden had put somebody else.
We'll have LSU come. But you know what? I'm going to tell Joe, I think Iowa should come too.
Oh.
Because they played such a good game.
Oh,
so,
did they?
Right? So winners and losers, that's sportsmanship.
Jill Biden needs better friends, man. She needs better friends because who lets you go up there and say some nonsense like that? Now you're getting roasted. Now you're getting destroyed. Now you're getting fried. You're getting cooked. Okay. And rightfully so, because what happens now? Does San Diego State get to visit too? You can't just make up things. And yes, there's a racial aspect to this because you've never seen this before. Black teams lose all the time. But no, it's Caitlin Clark. They won the right way. They lost the right way. Stop it. It's embarrassing. No more participation trophies. That's what y'all said it was over. So don't go back now just because your savior lost.
All right, let's get it.
Right.
Let's get it.
Not about race, but I always say in America, everything is about race.
You're correct, my friend.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. You be in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know that Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We're giving you empathy, we gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwashed education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God up above. It's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
Let's go.
Happy Easter, you fake ass Christians.
Happy Easter and Bunny Ass Day.
Welcome to the late show. We got a late start tonight, folks, but we're here. That's how we are. We are here. We did not abandon you guys. Tiffany, what's going on, sister? You had your
Hey everybody, again, this is fair use, educational purposes. This is our views, our opinion. Hey Carl, hi Kev, hi everybody. I love y'all, miss y'all much. Yes, we started off late today. I was doing Fashion Week Brooklyn. Everybody know I'm doing my show, Fashion Week Brooklyn. Y'all want to find out about it, go to www.fashionweekbrooklyn. We are helping up and coming designers show off their work. And we're doing our thing. So that's what I've been busy with. So that's why I'm late today.
Right.
But how are y'all doing today, y'all boy? My men.
Well, you were late. I was
tall
late.
man.
My tall men, yeah.
Because
Because I thought y'all was little people.
When Tiffany saw it, she goes, "You guys are tall."
Yeah, I looked up like, dang, y'all really not little people.
What's going on, brother Kev? What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm good, man. Glad I made it safely home. You know, when you leave your home, it's always a blessing to get back, you know?
Yes.
So I left my hotel this morning, made the 7-hour trip back to New York. Thankful to the universe that I made it home safely and ready to rock this show, man. Yeah. Hey, real quick. Just go ahead, Carl. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The Kevin the Afro, man, the clip, man.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. Because he doesn't see a race problem.
Yeah.
And there's those guys that never see a race problem that think everybody sees a race problem, like Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith saw it as a race problem. And you and I and Tiff, most likely, I guess we see it as a race problem. Well, I do. I'll speak for myself. because it is. Because if LSU would have lost, do you believe that Joe Biden
Would
would
invite?
have invited LSU to the White House?
No,
No,
absolutely not.
absolutely not. So that makes it a freaking race problem if you're watching Afrohead.
Well, I knew you was gonna say that Afro guy really pissed you off. I'm not
They did.
surprised at I really, you know how you hear things and then you don't hear. What did Jill say? I didn't hear what she said. And what is this? I saw the white girl do it. So if she was able to do it, why the black girl wasn't able to do it? Is this some type of sign language with basketball? Of is actually F you, bitch? I don't know. What is it?
It's John Messina. Was he a wrestler? I
Yeah.
think he was a wrestler, and he used to do this. Well, he said he got it from 50 Cent.
Yes, he got it from 50 Cent. Yeah.
Yeah.
What 50 Cent? Our 50 Cent?
Our 50 Cent. Yes. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a diss thing. It's a diss thing, right? But
you can't see me. I'm invisible. Something like that. I'm invisible. You can't see me. And it was just.
I'm old enough to grow up in the era. First of all, I lived long enough on this planet to remember a guy by the name of Muhammad Ali. And let me say, with sports, nobody talked more shit than Muhammad Ali, right? And then basketball, I lived through Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and of course the great Michael Jordan. Nobody talked more trash than those three guys. So it's normal for athletes to talk trash to each other. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson mouthed at each other so much, if it wasn't on the basketball court, they would have been at blows. Because that's all they did was trash talk each other during the entire game. And it was intense because both of those guys would rather die than lose a basketball game. They were that intense and serious about their sport. And here's a white guy, Larry Bird, one of the top basketball players in history, and a black guy, Magic Johnson, one of the top basketball players in the history of the game, who went at each other every season at each other's throats. So there's nothing new about what's happening in sports. Sports have always had athletes that trash talk each other, you know, but now they want to act like trash talking is something bad when athletes have been doing it for years on a higher level than these two.
What makes this so different? Is it because of the times you're in? I mean, you think
it's the internet, brother. It is social media, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Everybody now, Carl, has what you and I have had for 30 years, and that is a mic.
Yeah.
Everybody has a mic now. Everybody has a podcast. Everybody has a podcast. Everybody has a Facebook page. Everybody has a Twitter account, just about, and a TikTok page or social or Instagram. Now everybody has a mic, so everybody can voice their opinions, and that's all it is. Is now we can hear everybody's opinion, and I think that's the problem, brother. Is everybody now has an opinion and it's being heard around the world because of social media.
Yeah, let me play what Shannon Sharp.
I'm gonna be respectful to the first lady, Skip. But you know how I want to go, and I'm not gonna go as hard as I normally would, especially at her, because I'm gonna be respectful of that position. The presidency is an institution, and his wife is to be respected as I give the president respect. But she needs to sit down. What Skip? What is this about? Now, because the people that won, the young ladies that won, look like me, and the people that lost look like her, now we're going to invite the runner-up. Never in the history, Skip, do you know, going back, this goes back to 1865. Andrew Johnson welcomed the Brooklyn Athletics and the Washington Nationals amateur clubs. But the first professional baseball team to get invited to the White House, Ulysses S. Grant did it in 1869, the Cincinnati Red Stockings.
That's some deep research right there.
Winners. Never in the history, Skip. That's the part of winning a national championship. That's the part about winning the Super Bowl, the World Series, or the NBA title. Guess what, Skip? We get invited to the White House. The losers don't get anything. This is not a participation award, and that's what's watered down sports in America. Little Johnny and little Susie get an award just because they were on the team, although they didn't win anything. All the teams, if you were in the league, you get a trophy. No, winners get a trophy. That's what life is about. You got to win.
Thank you, Shannon Sharp.
Okay, so Shay Shay, because I don't like that Shay Shay. That Shay Shay makes me not excited. So you're saying that they won the team. The young lady won. They won her team. They won.
Yes.
So Jill invited both of them when she
Yes.
only supposed to have invited the winning team.
Yes.
The winning team was the most 99% African American team, LSU.
So she didn't want to make the white children feel bad.
Absolutely.
Basically, yes.
Let's invite both of them, and that's why the girl said no. We're
hasn't
not
happened.
going.
And as Shannon Sharp pointed out, Tiff, that hasn't happened in the history. No president has ever invited both teams to lose. It just doesn't happen. You only invite the winners. The losers don't come. There's no trophies for the losers in professional sports or high level sports like that. When you lose, you don't go to the White House. Only winners go to the White House. So she invited the white girls to the White House because she obviously was rooting for that team, which is her right, and obviously she was disappointed when they lost and wanted to still give them an olive branch to make them feel good. And whiteness is a hell of a drug,
So does this mean that most white people are racist, even the ones we think that are on our side? Because I would bet that most black people would think that Joe Biden and Jill Biden are on our side.
But here it is. Here's something. Let me say this, man. Let me say this. And they are, in a sense. This is going to be hard. This is a hard pill. Well, let me tell you why I say that. Listen to me first, Tiff. Hear me out. Because I don't think, and I listen to a lot of talk radio on this subject. I heard it from both sides. I listen to Urban Views. I listen to a lot of urban talk show hosts that do what we do every Sunday. And they all covered this. And one of the young ladies I respect, Karen Hunter, had some good points. And she said, you don't believe that Joe Biden woke up one morning and just said, I think it was a natural reaction because she's a white woman. I'm not giving her a pass. I'm saying she's a white woman, and that's how they think. Now, that's how you think. It's hard to say that they're racist. And I'll tell you why. For example, Carl, if we're watching a white boxer and a black boxer, we're going to root for the black guy, right?
I've said that on the show. When I watch the Olympics,
right,
I root for all the black athletes.
Me too. So, and if I'm watching the Oscars and there's a black actor, I'm rooting for him, even if I didn't see the movie. Everything. So I think because we're built that way.
But that's because of all the bullshit black people have been through. That's why.
But I think that's the excuse that we use. I think we're for the black people because we're black.
Yeah, that
you understand what I'm saying? I'm being honest.
Yeah,
we are black. Even if we didn't go through the bullshit, we're still black. We're gonna root for the black people. We're gonna keep it real on the show, right?
Yeah.
No, so keep it real. But if you're not a good person, I'm not rooting for you.
I'm just I take that. Well, no, you know what? Before this show started, Carl and I were just finished talking about, and I think all three of us,
we're
talking about how great R. Kelly is, right?
Right.
Because his music is awesome, and he's an amazing performer, an amazing singer, an amazing producer. And I listened to R. Kelly when I was driving home today to New York. I had him on my radio blasting, right? But I forgot. I put aside all the bad things he did to kids because I enjoy his music, right? I see a white boy walking around. He got a shirt on with John Gotti. When I stopped at Wegmans in New Jersey, and he got a John Gotti on his T-shirt. John Gotti's a murderer, right? This guy is a monster, right? Who kill people. So sometimes we embrace people who are bad, right? It's just our human nature, right? So I'm just saying, I'm not gonna go as far as say that she's racist. I think she's a white woman. I think she's always gonna be pro-white because she's white, the same way we're pro-black because we're black. And I know we've been through a lot of bullshit, but we're still pro-black. And we're pro-black because we're black, I think, first. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, you are in your own way, but be honest with you, I'm sorry. The Bidens came from the how can you say the white towns.
Oh yeah, I know their history. I know.
I don't trust them. I'm sorry. That's my
That's
personal
every
opinion.
president, except for Barack. That's every president that come from the white towns. We've had nothing but white presidents other than Barack Obama, and he didn't even grow up in the hood. He
Right.
grew up in Hawaii. So we
Right.
haven't had a president that lived in a black neighborhood ever. So all of them come from whiteness, and most of them have come from generational wealth, the Bushes and stuff like that. The Kennedys, they were already rich, before they got into politics. They come from a rich family. So I think all presidents have that, I'm just saying, I don't know if they behind closed doors are dropping the N-word and saying nigger this,
I
nigger
don't
that.
think they dropping the N word, but I know they're happy that they're not the N word. I think that they are comfortable in their whiteness, and half of them don't even recognize when they're being out of order. I did a show today,
Right.
and do you understand that white people cannot take order from a black woman? It bothers them.
Oh,
It's like they
absolutely.
ignore you.
Absolutely. I'm
Yes,
with you on that.
absolutely.
I'm with
I
you on
was
that.
very insulted a couple of times today, even down to the Asian women, and some of them was Russian, Asian women that was Russian. Isn't that something? And when I tried to tell them what to do, they looked at me like something was wrong, like because they're not used to a black woman running a show or running a whole backstage, a beauty department. They're not used to that. They used to getting orders from white people, even the black people. Sometimes they look at me like, "Who are you?" They rather take order from what's up. That I have to put my foot down for them to do it. I think it's all in the system. It's in
But
every
but
system.
as a white as an entertainer who performs all over the world and all over the country, I'm in front of white people every weekend. I don't know who these white people are, and maybe if I wasn't a comedian, they wouldn't talk to me to save my life. But also, after my shows, these white people line up to take pictures with me, to hug me, to shake my hand, to buy my merchandise. Uh, whatever the case may be, they buy my T-shirts, Kevin Lee T-shirts. They buy my, they take my posters with my face on it, and stuff like that. So I'm just saying, I don't, I don't know, I don't know how to call it, because I get it, man. I know the country we live in. I'm making no excuses for that. We live in America's a very racist place. I'm big into the UFC martial arts thing. And last night was a big martial arts fight down in Miami, Florida. And President Trump was there. When he walked in, he got a stand ovation in the Miami, in front of 30,000 people last night. He got a stand ovation when he walked in Miami, Florida last night at the UFC championship fight. That bothered me, because one of the guys that was fighting is a Hispanic guy who's a champion in that sport. And he's a big Trump supporter, and that's why Trump was there.
Yeah.
So
Most of the Spanish people are sports Trump
yeah,
supporters,
Republicans,
and
yes.
they said the Haitian people too. They
Yep, down in
support him a
Florida.
lot.
Yep, down in Florida, big time, baby. Yep. So yeah, I'm not going to blame Joe Biden. I'm going to call her out. What she did was completely 100% wrong, but I understand why she did it, and
Yeah,
she
she
did it
didn't want to
because she's
hurt
a white woman.
them little white
Because
children.
she can't stop being a white woman because that's who she is, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's not an excuse for racism. But I don't think she was looking out for white people, and she made a very costly mistake because who put Joe Biden in the White House was black women, right? So she didn't pissed off a lot of black women right now. Black women was the number one voter.
She just let us know who she was. We already knew who she was. This just put the icing on the cake, and like we said, it's like an agenda. They do not want to hurt the lily white children's feelings. They're not going to invite these black young ladies without inviting y'all. Y'all both can come. No, they don't supposed to come. They're the goddamn losers.
Facts.
Amen.
Amen.
What the hell? I probably would have been like this too. I would have been like this. You
because the first instinct is to coddle the white woman, right?
Oh, we so sorry.
And that's why they say white women weaponize their tears. You know, so this is just another example. I wouldn't go as far as to say that Jill Biden is racist, but white people look out for white people. You know?
And we're supposed to look out for ourselves.
You know, I wish we all did, but you know, we can't seem to get on that bandwagon.
And see, that's another thing, right? Like that's true too. You know, because let's say Michelle Obama or Barack Obama, if Michelle Obama was in that position, and would she have invited the black girls to the White House? Probably not, right?
But if she did, Fox News.
But if she did, she got this major backlash. You think Joe Biden's getting backlash? Oh, if Michelle Obama would have did that and invited the black losers to the White House,
it would have been an issue. We all
major
know
issue.
that. This
major
whole world
issue.
is like that. It's
major, yeah.
It's like, wow, they can do it, but you can't do it. You understand? Right. Like, I believe that young lady, the other white young lady, she should have stood up and said, we all do that. You understand? Because regardless to what year y'all are going against each other in the competition, but y'all all play the same damn sports. You understand what I'm saying? So she should have went up there and be like, it wasn't that I did it to her. It's a part of our language when we trying to get on each other. You understand? But yeah, I already knew that they was going to take it to another level. And I heard the young black lady she can really play some ball.
Oh yeah, she's a badass.
Oh, Angel, yeah. I saw a video with her challenging Shaq. Shaq went to the same university. Shaq went to LSU.
Mm-hmm. They said she's a very good player. And to be honest with you, I like the young people. You know, some of these young people I am running into and seeing them. I like their attitude because they're letting you know I am not my ancestor.
And she's got the most endorsement deals also.
The new generation ain't playing around.
They're not playing around.
You see these young men down in Tennessee, them two brothers, man.
Yes, I think Malcolm X and Martin Luther King had a baby.
They're young, and you know what happened? Them kicking them off them seats just turned them two brothers into powerful young kings.
That's all they did.
All you do is listen to those speeches. Both of them brothers can talk.
I was like this.
All right, let me show a couple of videos. Let me read a couple of comments. Say to Karen Friend. What's up, Karen?
Hey, Karen.
Karen's a fellow Barbadian Bajan.
Hey, Bajan in the house. My
Karen seems to think it was ignorance on Jill Biden's part. Was it? Oh, she's asking, was it ignorance on Jill Biden's or both to invite both? Was it ignorance to invite both? She's asking.
Yeah, it was ignorant.
I don't think she was really. I think she just felt bad for the white. Race had something to do with it. She felt bad for the white team.
Yes, you're right. I can't even argue that. Yeah,
but that's not right. If the black team won, they won. So you got to give them escalate. You got to give them what they deserve. And them other people, we sorry you won next year. Good luck.
You know.
Yes,
we've seen it all before. You know. I mean, I don't think Well, we're surprised that she did it so openly. You know, normally when white people help white people,
keep it to themselves.
Right. Yeah, but she just couldn't help herself. She just felt emotion for the white.
I'm glad. I like when people show you who they are.
Yep.
Believe them.
Yeah. Karen also said it's difficult as a black woman to work for a black woman too. Interesting.
You said it's hard to work for a black. No, I get it too.
That's a whole other show.
I know that's got a lot of heat on it, Karen.
Yeah, it is hard. Yeah,
to work for a black woman.
Yeah, it is, especially if you got one that's not out of balance, you know, or you have a negative. I ran into a lot of bosses that was horrible, and they were black women. They were very insecure and had mad businesses, cars, everything. But they still was insecure from a person like me that don't even have half the things they have. So, yeah, you have people like that, too. Yeah, it's all colors.
Oh, by the way, while we're pissed off about Joe Biden, let me give you an update on a couple of things Republicans did over the weekend. First of all, they had in Mississippi, they had their Confederate flag parade. Down there, you know, they have a Jim Crow parade down in Mississippi every year, and that was just this past weekend.
And the tornado didn't come and wipe it out?
Nope. And then the
Where you at, Tornado?
Then the Republican Senate in the state of Florida advances a proposal to protect federal monuments. So, yeah, a proposal to Florida Republican Senate advances a proposal to protect Confederate monuments.
They trying to keep the slave masters up in stone.
Yes. So we got our hands full. So
before I show the video, this is a perfect example of people who say my vote don't count. Your vote does count because you can stop nonsense like this if you voted for the right people. I know you might think that that no matter who's in office, it seems like you get the same old, but you wouldn't get craziness like this if you went out and vote in people that have your interests at heart. That being said, so these two, they're senators or congressmen. What are they?
They councilmen in their community.
Yes, they're councilmen
in Tennessee or something.
Yes, Democrat.
Okay, because I got their names because we want to give them. First of all, I think both of them have the same first name, if I'm correct. Okay, one is Justin Pearson, and the other one is Justin Jones.
Yes, Justin Jones, the brother to Afro.
And they are councilmen. They were expelled from their service because they were protesting right along with their white colleague about assault rifles. And guess who got suspended? The two black young men, and the white woman didn't. And I don't even trust her either.
Well, I saw her on TV. She said the reason that she was not suspended or expelled because she's a 60-year-old white woman.
We know that.
She said it because she's white. Yeah.
That's how much skin protection she got, that she can be able to go on and say that. And still, what she should have said was, I'm taking mine away too. To give me mine. If you're going to take theirs, give me mine. You understand? She should have stood with them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't trust her. I'm sorry, I just don't trust her. I don't. Because they didn't get rid of her too. And she was out there right next to them doing the same thing. So you see how we say one can do it and the next can't do it? They saw how powerful those young men were. They're only 27 years old. Yeah. And their voice were powerful talking. And it's like the way we talk, and we talk like this, and we stand for our people. You sure heard? I thought it's Malcolm X and Martin Luther King had a baby.
All right, here we go.
We broke a house rule because we're fighting for kids who are dying from gun violence and people in our communities who want to see an end to the proliferation of weaponry in our communities, and that leads to our expulsion. This is not democracy. This is not what it is supposed to look like, and everybody needs to be very afraid and very worried that there are people in positions of power who are using and wielding that power to expel people who are duly elected to their seats. I've lost a classmate this year from gun violence. My mentor died last year from gun violence. We are dealing with a gun violence epidemic, and the resolution is not to silence the voices of people who send us here to the people's house to speak with them and for them. It is to make sure we do just legislation. It's to make sure we fight for red flag laws. We fight for good storage laws. We fight to make sure that this is a democracy and maintains its democratic principles. But that's what's being lost today.
Wow.
I think that's Mr. Peterson, if I'm correct.
Okay, he's a bad dude.
I love him. I love them. I am Mr.
We just witnessed a public lynching in Tennessee. Tennessee Republicans voted to expel two young black state representatives from the legislature, Justin Jones and Justin Pearson. They were expelled for breaking decorum when they engaged in a peaceful act of civil disobedience. They were calling for action on gun reform in Tennessee, just days after 6 people were gunned down in a Nashville, Tennessee school. And for that act of civil disobedience, they were politically lynched. To get why this is a lynching, you must understand the psychology of lynching. First, the act is designed to bring harm to the person being lynched. Second, though, the act is designed to inflict psychological terror on those who witness the lynching. You see, lynching is designed to scare people. Tennessee Republicans feel like they have nothing to lose. They hold supermajorities in the House and the Senate. But I was there, on the ground, in the room, in the moment. And as I looked around at the protesters, the witnesses, I saw a lot of things.
I will stand with the people out in the rotunda every week if I have to.
say that all they wanted is attention. But I'll tell you what, I don't personally want attention. What I want is attention on the issue of gun violence. But instead, we're here with the resolution you put up talking about expelling me for advocating for ending gun violence in the state of Tennessee.
But fear wasn't one of them.
Yes. The white man told him that he was having a temper tantrum, and he did not like the temper tantrum. He said a temper tantrum because I'm trying to fight for justice.
You know, those brothers, man. You know, the white, they messed with those two brothers. That's all I got.
They mad, they uncomfortable. They made them. First of all, you got to remember again what he just said. We're in Tennessee. This is one of the most racist place in America, and also a place where Martin Luther King was killed at. Okay.
Well, you know that happened on the same weekend, right? That happened on the weekend on the anniversary of King's assassination.
You see that? Do you see that? And look at how they was talking. They were talking properly. They have proper education. They know what's going on. Listen,
that's why they're so scared of them.
That's why they don't like them.
Yes. The white people are intimidated. They was like, why is these niggas talking so strong? We've been running this house for all, because I didn't know it was different house. I know that it's different houses for different states, but I didn't know like Memphis had their own little thing, you know.
Right.
And
the state.
Yeah.
The state has their own little thing, yeah. Wow.
They are mad. But I am proud of y'all. Y'all two men, I am proud of you. Keep doing what y'all doing, and F them. You don't need to be. You done probably been kicked out of better places.
No, why isn't the Black Caucus down there supporting them? Is any of the Black Congress people, anybody going down there to help those brothers?
Well, Kamala Harris flew into town.
Okay,
she flew into town.
So Tiffany's not impressed.
Well,
because she just left Uganda.
She still went there, so
yeah, she has to do something. She needs her black card back.
But you gotta give them credit, Tiff, because if they don't go, and Carl and I have this conversation all the time on the show. If they don't go, then she's bad, and if she do go, she's bad. So it's a no-win situation, right? Like, I don't know.
Making a lot of noise, though. A lot of Black people should be making a lot of noise. I don't think we're making enough noise.
No, but it's a lot of people talking about it, Carl, because I sent it to you because I got it from a Black network.
Okay. It's getting enough press. That's all they talk about on the news for the last 72 hours is these two brothers. So they're getting, and it's all over TikTok. It's all over social media. It's all over Instagram. So they're getting their love.
They need this attention. Yes.
And I listen to Urban View Radio, and they're getting all the press on there from all the talk show hosts, and we're talking about it on our show. So they're getting, shows like us, other shows like our shows. So they're getting their profile is getting raised, Carl. Then they're going to be powerful young men for a long time, because what these guys did was open up Pandora's box. It took these guys out, and now the world gets to see what only Tennessee knew, right? Now everybody gets to see what brilliant young men they have. They fired the wrong guys, but they did it at the right time because they raised their profile.
That's a curse and a blessing of social media. You got to remember, these southern states is mad as hell because we got social media. Because a person put that thing up there, what happens? It's either going to go viral, or people are going to talk about it. So I'm happy that, like you said, we are here now on this platform, putting eyes to what is going on there in Tennessee. And those young men out there are fighting to stop this sale of these rifles. It doesn't make no sense that this lily white girl that was going through her change from woman to man, okay, that she was able to go in there and pick this rifle up, whatever, what you call that, the automatic, whatever the weapon, I don't know.
AR-15.
Yeah, those. I don't even know. I don't even mess with guns. But she picked up something that can kill a couple of people, many people, and not get flagged or not find out or talk to her or find out what's going on. But if a black person went in there, he will automatically get flagged.
Karen Francis says, I'm not giving up mines. I think she's referring to her gun or her guns. I think Karen, I think you were in the army, right? I think she was in the armed forces.
Listen, keep your guns. Long as you use them.
Do they want to take the guns, or is it just certain guns they want to take? Because
I think they just want to get rid of the
rapid
weapons
fire,
of war. The weapons of war.
ones that can take out like 100 people in like just one clip.
Yeah. Ones that, you have guns that if you shoot somebody, it puts a small hole in them or whatever. Then you got guns that you shoot somebody, it rips half their body apart, decapitates them and rip their flesh all over the place. Like these people being killed.
Karen, you got an
we
AR.
talked about this last week, right? The devastation these guns are doing on these kids. They don't even have proper funerals. You can't even after being killed in these massacres. These are closed coffin funerals because you can't even see these kids' bodies after these things.
Yeah, my friend had the close what you call it. He got shot, blasted in his face, and I just think it's a bit much. Like you said, we can. It's no problem with being a respectful gun owner. But when you have a gun, you have to be on point mentally and physically. You understand? And then you got to remember, you got to be careful with children. You have people got their guns all over the place. Like the lady, that same lady that the two guys was standing with. She said my grandfather had a gun on his desk, and we saw it every. Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all hear my animals? They fighting. She said they had a gun on her thing all on the time, and they knew not to touch it. Not these young kids today. They pick up this stuff. They'll go and want to try it. They'll wind up hurting themselves or hurting somebody else. So yes, we need to have more order dealing with these guns. I'm sorry.
Now Karen says she has an AR-15. She said she has my own personal. Why, Karen? Why do you need an AR-15? What possible scenario could come up that you would need an AR-15? I mean,
please explain that to me.
Yeah, I can't think of a possible scenario where you would think, "Oh my God, I wish I had my AR-15." I mean, unless you're being attacked by the militia, and I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Most people say, "Well, I got it for security in case somebody break in my house." But most people live their whole lives and never had their house broken into.
Yeah.
And the same people that tell you that own these guns still have ADT or doorbells, whatever, they have security alarms on their house, right? So why are you giving all your money to ADT every month and still have this gun? So that's not, I don't understand why any human being that's not a professional, not a service person
You got
for the
an
U.S.
AR-15,
military
you should be in
needs that
Iraq.
gun. Did she respond?
She said, yeah, she said the same reason everyone else does. It's coming for when the war starts. She thinks the war is coming. Karen thinks that there's a war coming. I mean, I don't know, you're talking about the race war because they
Okay, so we have a race war.
Is this young lady a white lady or a black woman?
No, she's black. Karen's
So we have a race war. So you got and okay, so we're gonna have a race war.
There's no war is coming. There's no.
I don't want a race war. Oh, I don't. It's not like we calling for it. I don't want it. You understand? We need to learn how to work together as human beings. You understand? And stop judging one
another. It's more good people than bad. So I doubt very much we would ever have a race war. We outnumber them.
So yeah, we're not gonna have a race war because I don't think neither side wins. I mean, look, here's the deal. We need to do a show on this. I don't know if we're gonna have a race war, but we're gonna have a civil war. And it's almost the same. It's almost the same thing in a sense, but we are going down the road of a civil war, Carl and Tiffany. And this country had a civil war before, and that civil war was based around slavery. This particular civil war that we're having now will be based around white people trying to save white power. And that's where Donald Trump comes in. That's where all these Republicans who are now real far to the right, are right now. And that's why I understand what she's saying about a war. I don't think it's be just white people killing black people. I think white people want their country back. They want back what they had, years ago. And that was
What is that? Can you explain what they want,
I'm
please?
gonna try to. They want the fake security superior that they had, which means they felt comfortable when there wasn't even an idea of a black president. They want when there wasn't even the idea of a woman becoming president, white or black. They wanted when gays didn't have any rights, when blacks were in the 60s fighting for a few rights. Most cities have black mayors now, uh, black senators, black Republicans, black Democrats. I mean, we're
They're
so.
also controlled too. Most of them are controlled. They try.
The
They try.
country is the country is turning brown, Tiff, with the population, the growth of the Hispanics over the last 10 years in this country, and I mean the country is turning. I remember when we were kids, and we're probably around the same age, I think. When I was a kid, I'll speak for myself. When I was a kid, uh, we and only Spanish people I seen was basically I don't think I've seen that many when I was a kid. You know, now look, so everywhere the country is coming brown. It's becoming browner and browner, and there's a certain percentage of white people that are very uncomfortable with it, and they don't want the country to become brown. They want the country to remain, in their mind, their country. And that's why when Trump said, we're going to take our country back and make America great again.
How you gonna take somebody country back that y'all stole? I don't get it.
Well, that's how they think.
Karen says she said, I don't either, meaning she doesn't want a race war, but there are too many who hate us just for being black. But I want to have a fighting chance. So she has an AR-15. She's not gonna start a war. She doesn't. She hopes there's not a war. I'm speaking for you now, Karen. But when the war does start, and when these nut jobs decided that they want to start killing blacks, Karen wants an AR-15 just in case she's back into a corner and she has no other choice but to keep them off of her. I tell you what, an AR-15 will keep you off of, will keep your ass out of somebody's house. So, maybe.
Well, God bless you then. Yeah, I mean, I understand where she's coming from, and I think, unfortunately, I mean,
she's an adult. She's
she
a
might
grown
need
woman.
that
We're
gun.
talking about
She
young
just
people.
might need that gun. We might go down that road where
because
we're
there's
going to be
so
in that
many guns
position.
already out there. I mean, even if they stop, there's so many guns already in circulation. I don't see how any gun control is gonna help.
We're talking for the future because we are having too many school killings. I know it's a lot of white killings. I'm about human beings. I don't think no child should ever be hurt, especially going to school. That bothers me. I lost a friend, that got killed at school, back in the 90s. So it's serious. And they put what you call that, they to protect to make sure they don't have no guns and stuff. They started putting that medical detectors and all of that in the school in the 90s because this young man came up and shot 2 people in the school. And it's they need to be just more on point. It needs to have more regulations. That's it. People are going to own guns. I know it's not going to stop, but they need a little bit more regulations. I don't think that young lady, that 28-year-old, should have been able to go in there and get that like that and not nobody talk to her, or they have find out, like, you have to go through certain procedures before you get a gun that can kill 20 people at the same time.
The one thing I don't understand is why are people against background checks? I don't get that.
But they're going to do a background check on us. Why they're not doing a background check on them?
That's what I don't understand. Why people that own guns are against background checks? Why do you need a gun like right now? Like why? I mean, why do you need a gun like today? Why can't you wait a week? Before you get the gun.
Just to check out, make sure you don't got no felonies, you ain't shoot up no people already, or you ain't no co-defendant of a killer. We need to know these things before we put a gun in your hand.
Yeah. Now, Karen says you got to have a background check to get a gun. Not in every state.
Please.
You can go to a gun show and just buy guns. I've seen the videos where you just walk into a gun show, like a big warehouse kind of thing, and you just pick out the guns that you want. So
my sister said you can go to Walmart and pick up a gun.
Yeah, I got a gun from Walmart.
Where do you keep
wait, hold on, y'all. Look.
Hey.
My sister's in town.
That's your sister?
That's my sister, Nikki, the one that always be.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi, good to see you.
All right. I'm gonna need that number. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. Just joking. I'm just
about to say you cheating on me and the other wife? That's wrong.
Yeah. So why people need a gun today? Like she said, I got a gun. I got a gun from Walmart. This was like probably more than 15 years ago.
I still don't understand why, though. I mean, I don't understand why people need guns. I don't care why anybody needs a gun. I don't get it.
I tell you why I have, and I'll say it again. Where I live, it's back from the main road. There's only 2 houses on the lot. It's wooded. There's a highway running right behind my house, so somebody can park. You know what I mean? And I said one night to myself, I'm sitting in this house. If somebody kicks in my door, what do I got?
You should be able to bust a shot or scare their ass up and let them know it's a gun up in here. You will get gully got.
Yeah, and I decided right there and then I'm gonna get something, and I went down to Walmart and I got a 12 gauge or whatever the hell. I got double barrel shotgun.
Well, they say when you have a house or a business, you're supposed to have. You can be able to have a gun.
So let me say something too. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So when you're sitting home by yourself and you're like, the game about to come on, got me a beer, got me some pretzels right here, get my gun right next to me. Enjoy the game. Is that how you watch a game with a gun right next to you, bro? Because you can't you know what I'm saying? You can't just go, hold on, burglar. I'm going up to my closet.
Well, I mean,
get my gun and bullets. I'll be right back.
It's never going to be the perfect scenario. It's never going to be the perfect scenario, but I still feel more secure knowing I have it. I do. I feel.
You know who Sean Teller is?
No, I don't know who that is.
Sean Teller was an NFL player for the Washington Redskins back in the day. Google Sean Teller. Sean Teller was had an injury that happened in the middle of the football season in Washington, D.C., but he lived in Florida. So he went home. He had his girlfriend there and his infant baby. So he went home to Florida because he had an injury to his leg, and he decided to go home for a week and see his family. And his home was burglarized while him and his girlfriend and his infant baby were in the master bedroom. He's Sean Teller. He's an NFL player. He got a pretty size big house. But they heard some rumbling downstairs. So Sean Teller reached under his bed. Very popular player, by the way. Very well-loved guy. Reached under his bed, pulls out a knife, and goes downstairs to confront, the burglars. And they had a gun.
Yeah.
And they shot him, and he passed away. I think he was 24 years old. And NFL player for the Redskins, Sean Teller, amazing player, bright future, just had a little baby girl. Lost his life because he didn't have a gun in his house. Took a knife to a gunfight, So I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying,
Yeah, but I'm not like a gun nut. Like I don't have to have it.
No, it's just for your protection of your
it's
home.
For your protection, you live alone by yourself.
It's a difference
in a rural area. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
that makes sense.
We have black bears where I live at, for example. And I was telling Patricia, I was like, I got to put the trash out at night. Because our trash man comes at night, spring and summertime. On any given night, you have a black bear walking on my street. I'm like, I have nothing to, if I see a black bear, I'm done. What am I need to walk to my trash can for gun now. I just was having this conversation as spring approaches now. So yeah, I mean,
you need bear mace, Kev. You don't have bear mace?
I'm gonna get some, but that's my point. I'm gonna get some
Make sure you
bear
cover
mace.
your face when you spray it so you don't get it.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't care if I get it. If I see a black bear, I'm spraying everything: the bear, the tree, the car,
yourself. That's what I'm saying. When you spray, you gotta be like.
I will spray the whole damn neighborhood. Will have to evacuate. If I see a black bear. My neighbor saw one in September. My neighbor was walking her dog in September of last year. And my neighbor lives 6 doors down from me. And there's a black bear right up the street from her. I mean, right up the street, down the street from my house. And the dog, they're afraid of dogs for some reason. And he ran up a tree. This big ass black bear ran up a tree to get away from this dog. But if it was her by herself, it would have been a different story, So yeah, man. So everybody needs protection of some sort. So I'm definitely gonna invest in some bear mace. But I'm not gonna get a gun,
Yeah.
I thought about it, but I've always been against guns. I don't want to become an American. We're shoot 'em up
Yeah.
mentality country. Guns are out of control worldwide, especially. Here's my deal. Here's the deal. We are the only country where this happens. We're the United States of America, and we have more kids dying from gun violence in this country, the greatest country in the world, by the way. Right?
And I love my country. Don't get it twisted. We built it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, we also are killing kids. The number one killer, and you can Google this because I do my homework. The number one cause of death for children in the United States of America today is gunshots. Not cancer, not pneumonia, not COVID, gunshots.
I don't think that's us that's us.
A fact. And that's just not mass shootings. That's the other shootings too,
That's the system.
It's
the system. That's
how
not
come
our
the system
fault.
is only in our country? It's not happening in other countries. It ain't happening in European countries. It's not happening in Asian parts of the world. Not happening in Japan. Not happening in China.
But we got
We talk
all
about how
different
great we
backgrounds.
are. America talk about how great they are. We have no democracy right now. These 2 black men were kicked off their jobs because they went out to stand up for white kids that were murdered. Think about this. These 2 black guys were standing up for white kids that were murdered.
They just want to put them in their place.
That's it. I was getting ready to say they expelled them because they didn't know their place. They was like, niggers, y'all are talking too much.
But they weren't just standing up for the one African American that was shot.
Standing up for children.
They were standing up for the children, mainly the 3 9-year-olds, because 6 people lost their life. There was only one African American. The rest of those people were Caucasian. So those guys, they didn't look at race or color and say, hey, I'm not going out here for these white kids. They went out for those white kids and those white teachers. They went out there and put everything on the line for those people, So, and then this is their reward was like, because the Republicans don't care if you're white, if you're black. They don't care what color, Chinese. They don't care. What they do care about is NRA, the NRA, who sends those big checks to them.
Yeah, I was about to say somebody's getting some money. That's the only reason why they're not saying stuff.
They get money. NRA is very loaded financially, and they pay these politicians off on a regular basis.
Do they do sponsorships?
So they won't have these gun laws changed. That's why they won't change them.
I wonder, do they do sponsorships since they make so much money? I should write them.
Who, the NRA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand how they make their money. Like, how do you make money?
They make money off their guns. Isn't it the guns?
No,
Don't they make a percentage off of guns?
It's a National Rifle Association, right? It's just membership.
Yeah, but it's donations.
Yeah, it's
For the
donations
membership.
and it's
They got
connected.
millions of members in
Millions.
donations. Donald Trump just got $7 million since he's been indicted from donations.
Yes.
And these are people that have regular 9-to-5 jobs that send this billionaire money. Because
I need some money.
this billionaire is telling these people who go to work every day that I'm here to save your country. And they're going, okay, well, we're going to send you money because we want to make sure our kids grow up in America where the same America that their grandparents grew up in. You know, think about it. You know, they want to grow up in the same, they want their grandkids and their kids to grow up in the same America that their grandparents grew up in. And that was America where white was first and everybody else was second. Because right now the playing field is kind of leveling out a little bit.
Because we got our own money now.
They don't want you to
we
have your
making
own
our
money.
own choices.
They don't want that. They don't want you to have your own hair business.
They're too free thinking.
They don't want you to have your own makeup business. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to have a podcast. They don't want you to do nothing. You know what they want you to do, Tiff? They want you to get your ass down there, pick that cotton,
AKA work they cheap jobs.
And do it for free.
You know, Donald Trump is a perfect example of if Donald Trump were black and he were the black people would ignore him. They would just ignore him, or they would not. Nobody black would follow somebody like Donald Trump.
Of course not.
But how do you get? But how does he get so many white people to? And it's basically because he's white.
Yeah, and there's more of them than it is us.
You know,
in America,
they don't
it's
care
more
about his
of
fault.
them than it is us. So I don't understand how they feel, how these white people feel like we're taking over or they're going to take over. But you know, it's more of y'all, and we really don't care about y'all. We just want to live our life, get paid the right money, and we want to raise our children. That's it. And we don't care about none of that. They are afraid of us. They think that what they did to us, we're going to do it to them. That's it. And we're not even thinking about them like that. Are y'all thinking about them like that?
No, they just don't want to share power. They don't want to. They don't want to even playing field. I saw a thing on. I think it was on TikTok, and I had it on my phone for a long time. I finally deleted it. It was somebody. I think who was it? That made an example about Monopoly, the game of Monopoly.
Right,
and,
that girl. Yeah,
you saw that. Remember? Yeah, about how Monopoly, how they bought all the houses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of made it, showed you how, you know, you seen it, right, Carl?
It's a game.
If you find that,
world is a game.
if you can find that, post it next week for the show for next week, so I can see what I'm talking about. And it's a brilliant display of generational wealth.
Yeah,
you know, on how the head start that they got compared to what African Americans got, and it basically sums up what I'm trying to why there's racism and why they want to continue it. It's really cool. If you can find it,
we got too much power,
and
and
you can't
that's
find it next. We'll show it next week.
Yeah,
one of us will find it. Yeah, one of us will find it. I'll look for it also.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I forgot who posted that. I think Dick Gregory posted it. To be honest with you,
God bless his soul.
Yeah, I think Dick Gregory posted that thing, and it was brilliant. Yeah, it was brilliant.
So commercial break. Did y'all see Monique's stand up yet?
Woo! Man,
you saw it, Kev?
I can't watch it. I try to watch it. First of all, on a personal note, I don't like Monique, and I have my personal reasons for it. And I know Monique. I know her, Tiff. Okay? I know her. And off the air, privately, I'll share some things with you. But that's not important. What is important?
It wasn't funny?
I don't think I don't think stand-up comedy, you have to stand on stage as a black woman or black man and drop the N-word 98 times in 45 minutes. You say that again, Tim?
She did do that.
Yes, she did. Yeah. Nigga this.
It was a
nigga
little
that,
bit vulgar.
Bitch this. Now here's the deal. And she's a popular woman. She's very successful. If you get a Netflix special and all you do on your Netflix special is says nigger and bitch and nigger nonstop for an hour almost. Oh, it was 30 minutes. I think the special was 30 minutes long. But
no, it's an hour.
Okay, so people lost count of how many times she said the N-word, and they lost count of how many times she said the word bitch. And as an artist, I'm looking at it from an artist point of view, Tiff, and not a personal point of view, just an artist point of view. And like I said, I know Monique, so I root for everybody. I root for everybody. I don't like to see nobody, especially when they get their comedy specials, not bring the heat and be great. I think she missed a golden opportunity because she cried and bitched for this Netflix special and to make the money that she made. She cried, her whole thing was, y'all paying Chappelle all this money, and y'all paying so-and-so all this money, and y'all paying these people all this money. And she fought for this money. She fought for this special. And she got the special, and then you didn't put no work into it. That's all you was to go out the stage.
That's his personal opinion. He's not the only one. There's a couple of people that they for Monique and they're not. And like I said, everybody's not going to like everything. Everybody's not going to like everyone.
That is true.
She was very, to me, she was a little vulgar. But in between that, when I do comedy, I'm not expecting it to be clean. Do you understand what I'm saying? I really don't expect comedy to be clean all the time. Now, I'm not listening to Bill Cosby. He's clean. You understand what I'm saying? So I wasn't expecting her to be clean. But in between her comedy, she talks about her life. And her life was full of fuck nigga, bitch. It was full of that if you listen to it. She, came from a very hard life. She was in a special ed class because her mother couldn't read. That's sad. So for her to be where she is today, to be where she came from, I understand. But if you're not into cursing and being vulgar and hearing the N-word, do not watch it. It's not going to be your cup of tea. Everybody is for, what's going on. It was a little different. It was a little different. Because you got people that don't like Chris Rock.
For the record, by the way, Tiff, for the record, Tiff, and I'm not as famous or big an entertainer as a Chris Rock or Monique, but for the record, last night I performed on stage in a theater in Richmond, Virginia, and I think, and there was black and white people in my crowd, and I think I said the word fuck at least 25 times on stage in the course of an hour. So it wasn't about the F-bombs being dropped, because I drop F-bombs on stage. Anybody ever see me perform?
Comedy. It's fun.
Anybody know ever see me live? No, I'm gonna drop some F-bombs on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I was good for a decent 25 F-bombs at my show.
You had 25 F words.
At least. And I'm being generous. I might have had more than that. I was having fun on stage. They were having fun watching me. So I dropped about 20, 25 F-bombs last night. But her special was at another level of I had to turn it off. Because it was at another level of vulgar, of just for no reason though.
Yeah,
Bernie Mac drops a lot of F-bombs in his show, but have some substance behind the fucks, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, my mother couldn't watch it either.
Jokes. Just walk out on stage and say bitch and fuck and bitch and hoes and bitches and niggas and don't have no joke behind it, that kind of stands out. Now, if you got jokes with your niggas and jokes with your F-bombs and jokes with your bitches, then that's okay. She had a joke with it that said bitch. But just to be saying it, look, she ain't got to explain shit to me. She making big bank. But she is getting some criticism from a lot of
I knew she was gonna get some credit. You gotta see it.
I'm talking about the public. I'm just talking about some big name comedians are coming at her. You know,
if you're gonna make that much noise to get a Netflix special, you better make sure that it's, you know what I mean, it's top notch. It should be top drawer stuff. Yeah.
Dio Hughley went at her. Dio Hughley went at her. I mean, there's a lot of comments. Look at Tiff. You don't like Dio Hughley?
His business. I don't like him. You just, and that could be your friend. I don't like him. And it's so because one of my other comedian friends,
he's a good brother. He's a good brother. Dio's a good brother.
I don't like him.
He's a good brother. And he's down for his people. That's for sure. Dio Hughley's down for black people. He looks out.
I don't think that no black man should down another person online, on TV, especially your comedian brother or sister. He did too much with Monique. He did too much. He should have just be quiet. Nobody asked him for all of that. You understand? Because I wouldn't want nobody to talk bad about him if he's a comedian and y'all all are comedians. Y'all should not talk bad about each other like that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he did go after Monique like.
He went after Monique horribly. He was horrible towards her. He was horrible. But when Monique called him out about not paying attention or doing what he's supposed to do as a father with his daughter, everybody had an issue. You understand? So my thing is we pick and choose what we say or how we deal with it, how you're being selective on your being mad at certain things. I just feel like when they was getting on her, telling her leave her husband didn't know what he was doing, but Netflix paid her almost $50 million. Nobody said nothing about it. They talked her down to the ground, but when she got that money, nobody said anything to her. They didn't say nothing about it. Horrible.
All right. Well, that said, we're going to wrap it up, folks. Thank you for checking us out one more Sunday. We started late tonight, but we're here. Kevin, you got anything to share or anything you learned that you want to expound on tonight, or any knowledge you want to drop for the people?
I learned that Tiff is a Monique fan.
She's a Sagittarius like me. It's not that I'm Monique.
I'm a Sagittarius too.
But you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, I know Monique.
You said you know her. So
Monique and her brother Steve used to hang in my apartment in LA and smoke weed with my buddy, the Fat Doctor, like crazy.
She mentioned that too, that she smoked weed. She told everybody she smoked weed, and she's a
I know she smoked weed. I knew Monique when Monique was 4. I know Monique when she started in Baltimore. I used to work at her club. Her and her brother Steve. Steve's be at my house all the time. Steve Hines. That's her real name, Hines. I know them very well. But
so you knew that her brother molested her?
I knew that.
Okay.
I don't want to get into that, but I knew that. Yeah. I know a lot of things, Tiff. I've been around all these people.
Right.
I've been around all these people all my life. You know, and I know Monique.
Yeah. So we should understand certain people's behaviors is because of things that happened to them when they was young. Just like R. Kelly, when we were talking about R. Kelly, he's an awesome artist, but things happened to him when he was young that affected him today.
Hey, Tiff. Yes, you're correct. And Carl, you read my book, right, Carl?
I did what?
You read my book, Carl?
Yes, I did. Yes, I have.
Okay, so Carl read my book that I wrote, Tiff. And in my book, I open up about being molested as a kid.
Yes, he did. Yes.
So we all done gone. I won't say we all have. Most entertainers, especially stand-up comedians, most of us, if we weren't stand-up comedians, would be exotic dancers. You know what I'm saying? Because we got that. We're all screwed up in our heads. That's why we're comedians. We have something.
You gotta laugh to keep from crying.
Something not right balance with us. That's why we're entertainers.
You gotta laugh to keep from crying.
Basically. So, you know, I get it about the molestation thing and being molested and going through the drama and having skeletons in your closet because of it and all the stuff that goes along with being molested, you know, and having these problems. And we take it to the stage and we use it as motivation and all sorts of stuff in our life. But, you know, off the air, I won't say what I'm gonna say now. I'll say it off the air.
Yeah, I respect that. Yeah.
Anything you want to share before we trot off into the night?
Love yourself. Enjoy your what is it, spring? It was Easter today. I hope everybody went to church or, you know, said hi to the Easter bunny.
I drove past the church.
How you get church and the Easter Bunny in the same sentence?
Isn't it the same thing? It's almost their cousins.
Jesus came out of that. I mean, the Easter Bunny came out of that cave with Jesus, right? When
Yes, he did. Popping like I'm his side, buddy. But yeah, everybody, please like and subscribe to us. Share, leave a comment, let us know what you think, how you feel, because we like to have this conversation. You know, just like Kev said, there's a lot of podcasts out there, and we out there trying to, you know, talk about things that is affecting us today and what can we do as solutions, you know. So definitely like and subscribe. Thank you again, and we love you all.
All right. And like I always say, people, tell the people you love that you love them. Say it. They want to hear it. They're not psychic. And with that, we will see you guys.
We'll be back more next week with some fun times in America.
Fun times in America. I hope I ain't doing no show. I shouldn't be doing no show.
You know, there haven't been any police shootings recently, have they? Were the police running out of bullets, or are they just...
Don't speak that shit into existence, bro.
Oh, please. No, maybe city and state is tired of paying their bills off. Every time they shoot somebody, they got to pay somebody.
Yeah. Well,
there'll be more police shootings.
We pray they not. You know, please keep your guns to yourself. Only shoot when you need to. Yeah. Think before you click.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Karen, thank you so much for all your comments tonight. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you, Miss Karen.
Thank you, Sharon, Gooden, and folks. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Yeah.
Peace and love.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the black therapy show. You be in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know Kevin, Tiffany, you're having an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We'll be giving you empathy, we gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. It was brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from our God up above. No, it's called Kevin Tiffany. Now welcome to the black